following the Burning Man thing at all?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
Is this the one year you've not been in forever?
Yeah, like a long time. I think the second year I went was the last time it rained really bad, that was my favorite year of all of them. I love it. I loved the news coverage that was like, they have Ebola now. Now they're cannibals now. Like they ran out of water. Like, yeah, well, the festival wasn't supposed to be over until like Monday. So I'm pretty sure if they ran out of water on Friday now, then fuck them. That was their own fault.
Yeah, dude, they're selfish with their water.
It was great. Did you go ahead?
Made the best Burning Man videos on the internet. He did I don't know how to describe him other than he's the kind of guy that belongs at Burning Man, and he flies paramotors. So he like goes up and shows it from an aerial view of all what's going on, and he also just edits, and he's real popular on Instagram and stuff.
You ever take
Professional. I'm sorry.
I get a naked chick strapped to me, take her up there. She can't get away. Then not just the implication, fucking gravity. You're in trouble.
Yeah. So anyway, he made really great videos. He's got like hundreds of thousands. He's a paramotor guy, right? So here I have his channel open. He normally pulls his popular videos are like 45,000 views, but these are getting 600,000 views because it's Burning Man's popular. Yeah.
That's great. I love the Jeeps that are like totally submerged in the mud. The people that tried to get out thinking they're 4-wheel drive Land Rover or whatever.
I like the ones that did get out. Like, have you seen the trucks and stuff that are pulling trailers through the mud and just looking badass?
Did they get out, or do they end up like sinking further out?
Well, some of them do.
They kept going for as long as the video went. It seemed.
Oh, look at that crazy silty mud.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. It's really fun.
They said
Dick?
were those little sea creatures that you get in the bag? The sea
fairy
monkeys,
shrimp.
They said the sea monkeys were all waking up because that they're all out there. So that ground is like sewage and muck and water and sea monkeys.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Didn't know the sea monkeys.
They're like krill eggs or something, right? Like
brine
sort of.
shrimp, right?
There's fairy
Brine
shrimp out there. There's fairy shrimp eggs that are out there. It might have to get a little bit more rain for them to start hatching, but it is all your stuff's ruined when it starts raining there. You're just, if you don't immediately abandon it.
Can we
you're
play
gonna
the
have a
video
bad
of
time.
Harley? He at Burning Man. I linked it over there. He looks like Wario, and he's clearly real drugged up. It's just a good time.
Harley?
Yeah, Harley Mortenstein, our friend,
drugs.
the large Jew.
I didn't know he did.
Doesn't
drugs.
sound like him.
No, like he's a
There
professional
he is.
fighter.
He looks like Wario. Don't play it in fast forward. We can't understand.
I thought that was the drugs.
It is. It is.
He's having fun. Good for Harley, having a good time. I saw him
He didn't make it out, unfortunately.
He'll be fine. He's too tall to sink. He'll be the one head still remaining, and when they go to recover Burning Man, everyone else is sunk.
They're all under me.
So what was the first time you went to Burning Man, and how many times have you been?
Oh God, the first one was maybe 10 years ago, maybe 2012. I don't know. I think I've been like 8 times. Usually I bring a big art piece out there, but COVID really messed it up. It made everybody real skittish about anybody else. They canceled it for 2 years, which was weird. Then because you're not supposed to give a fuck at Burning Man. It's safety third. Look at us, we're doing drugs and working with power tools. Fuck safety. But then they're like, well, COVID. We don't want anybody to get sick. Snorting something off of a guy's dick from a bag who you've never met before, that's fine. But getting a cold, no, not for young people who are all in shape. That would be the end of us.
Yeah,
so they canceled it twice, and then the guy who started it died. So they did a bunch of goofy shit like no coffee camp in the middle. I don't know. It just felt weird. Last year, they also spread it all out. There used to be a coffee shop in the middle, but I think they either stopped selling it forever or just for that year.
So
they
help me out, because I've only seen like pictures of this thing and shit. It seems to me that you go there to do drugs and like rave and party in the desert, and there's groups there, and there's lots of like chicks that want to do drugs and fuck probably too. That's my outside looking in kind of.
Yeah, the art's really amazing on its own, even if you don't like art. So last time I went, there was an I-beam sculpture that somebody made. All the art's interactive. Like that's the whole thing. Interactive and huge. There was an I-beam that somebody embedded in the ground that went up at maybe a 20-degree angle and met with another I-beam, I don't know, 25, 30 feet off the ground. And people were just walking up this thing like ants. And as you got closer and closer to the peak, like the vibrations would just get insane. And you're falling on essentially concrete if you were to fall off. Like there's no net, there's nobody there. So there's just like
fun.
Yeah, it was really it was like suddenly terrifying to be on top of it. There's a lot of little things like that.
Do you go across?
Yeah. I was terrified.
Shimmy?
At the
sit on your
top
button like shimmy.
to go over the hump, I sat down and like dog wiping its ass on the ground
That's
to
what
go
I
over it.
pictured.
Because I'm like, I don't understand how to do this now. If I was in VR, maybe I could do it, but I know that I'm not in VR and I can't do it. I'm just gonna sit down. I'm not dying here in my underwear at
That's
Burning
so
Man.
true. What you just said, I know what you mean. What you mean is like, if there were no consequences of this, I'd just fucking run up and down this thing.
Yeah.
I remember, like, if you've ever seen a house before, when they've got all the joists in or whatever, like the floorboards, but they haven't put the big boards on top of them, you can just kind of run along those 1.5 inch, 2 inch wide boards. I could do that all day. But man, if you made falling my life, I'm not stepping foot on that.
No, I don't want to look at it.
30 feet.
I don't
is
even
so
want to
far
look at
fall.
it. Yes, when
that's
deer
a-
hunting, I would be 25 feet up in the tree, 30 sometimes. I was always afraid. I was like
Justifiably.
11, 12. It was like dark. My dad's like, hurry up, get up there. I got to go climb my tree. And I'm just like, I'm shaking. Like my every time I would like lift,
Scaring the deer with your
you could
cries.
feel like trembles in my like wrist and my ankles and stuff, because you would make that climber stand bite in such a way that you can put your weight on it, but it would slip in the pines. So it would be like slip, 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 stick, and you're like, it feels like you're falling for a split second, and it has
You are for a second. Yeah.
and it happens over and over. And you're 30 feet up in the darkness. You can't see the bottom anymore, except for he's got a little pin light shining it up at you to let
Once
you
it
know he's
sticks,
still,
it's solid, right?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
more or less. You could still fall out of there.
You said it
fell,
happens
though.
again and again. I was like, the whole time you just lose 3 inches? I guess not.
No, once you're in there pretty good. But yeah, that
Here, I'm
always
gonna
terrified
post
me.
one of the art things we brought one year.
wanna
I think
see.
that's as safe for. Let me see if the picture's there. If you scroll
Soup
down a little
flavored
bit, you can.
Should I watch the video?
No, the
Soup
video
flavored
sucks. But the
blanket
pictures are
Indiegogo
cool.
Pro-
Yeah, they did an Indiegogo. I don't know. I don't know how well that did. But there's some cool pictures of the box. It's
Oh,
like
okay. I see.
I
in the
see.
It's a
bottom.
24-foot long saltine cracker box that we served soup out of all night. So like 2 a.m. from 6 a.m. We'd have little ramen packets of soup and then just pour hot water.
Now, let me ask,
but
what's the demographic like here at the outside the big cracker box that you were inside of?
people who are about to freeze to death. And they're looking at us like we're Jesus Christ, serving them like a cup of
Fair.
medicine. Do you like in general? You mean like men versus women demographic, or?
No, are there?
No.
Is it mostly white people or?
Oh yeah. There's so many white people at Burning Man. They celebrate every single black person they see there. They have a parade for them. It's so fucking annoying because it's like the most. There's a contingent of burners who are we have to, before we say anything, we have to apologize for being on the native like Uyapayo land. It's so
fuck
fucking
them.
obnoxious.
Yeah, that's pretty gay.
Dude, I watched a clip. I don't know what the movie is, but it's like Indian chief sits down with like the cavalry guy, and the Indian chief's like, "These black hills were our native land." And he just the cavalry guy cuts him off. Yeah, since you took them from the Arapaho, who you murdered with our rifles, but let's not talk about how you sprang from the desert plain like Oahu says. No, because you came from the Minnesota Badlands where you raped, pillaged, and murdered. And he starts naming all the tribes they murdered out. And now here you are, Chief. Old land by me, old land by God. You're going to have to fight for your land today. And I'm like, holy shit. I like this guy. I think he's the bad guy, though. I keep doing that.
That is how conquering tends to work.
When I watched Avatar, I was like, let's get this blue shit. Let's go. I want that whale brain goo, whatever makes us live forever. I saw a picture today of like what would happen if instead of those weak-ass femboys that came to invade the blue planet and Avatar, like Space Marines came, and immediately it's like, all right, we win. You just fucking kill them. The American military we have right now could absolutely kill all those blue people. You don't need Space
100%.
Marines.
And I haven't seen that second movie, but they definitely could.
They're just blue people with bows and arrows, dude.
I doubt they're any more threatening than they were in the first movie.
They're real big,
what's because you say people are like being reckless and ridiculous in Burning Man. What is, I guess, the worst you've ever seen someone injured while you've been there?
Seen someone? Somebody at my camp while we were building a stage. One year we built a TV station. So we built a huge stage, like a talk show stage and a sitcom stage, and we had a camera that broadcast everything to this tiny TV. So people would come and sit and then watch this little tiny TV. Yeah. That was the whole thing going in front of them. Mm-hmm. But as we were building it, one of the boys from Oklahoma who knows how to use power tools was holding a screw for one of the jackasses from Silver Lake down the street in California who doesn't know how to do them, and he drilled through his finger. He drilled straight through his thumb fingernail all the way through. So he had to go to the medic tent and get an X-ray and shit.
Oh, so they have X-ray machines on site?
Oh, they got all kinds of stuff there. They got real doctors, nurses.
What's that shit that solves OD? Like, it might start with an N.
Narcan,
yeah. I bet they've got lots of Narcan at Birmingham.
I don't know if they have it.
What are the drugs of choice?
That's the most important thing to have at Burning Man.
What are the drugs of choice at Burning Man? Yeah. Same as they are everywhere else. Molly, cocaine, acid.
Okay.
Mushrooms. Molly. I guess you get real locked into a mushroom kick if you want. I don't touch that dirty stuff though.
Mm-mm. No, did you have a bad experience with mushrooms at Burning Man?
It's just too annoying to be around mushroom people. They're always talking about their like emotional breakthroughs and stuff. I'm like, man, I don't. Can you get on like a fun drug or something? Is there a drug that you don't process trauma on that you could get on? Because this is really fucking boring. I feel like I'm in a young adult novel right now.
You're just walking around trying to like give people shots of some whiskey,
of acid, a little bit. Yeah,
shots of acid.
Yeah, I had a very complicated setup of dropping and then dividing up the shots. And I was like, all right, so there's 3/8 of a hit in all these. And everybody does them, and my friend goes, can you just review the math on that real quick before I drink this? I said, no, you're just going to have to, I mean.
Were you right, or did they?
Yeah, I was right. Fuck him. Fucking question my math.
Review the math.
Question my math at Burning Man, you bitch. Putting an extra eyedropper in there for you.
Yeah.
But it was only 3/8 of a hit, though? Is that what?
3/8 of a hit of acid? Yeah, I think.
Does that mean it's like a half dose, roughly? Am I understanding
a little
correctly?
less. Okay, that's perfect, man. If you want to go to a baseball game and not spend $300 on beer and like Dodger Dog, 3/8 acid, nail it. You're not up all night.
What's a Dodger Dog?
So if you're new to LSD, LSD's acid, right? That's what you'd suggest someone take a 3/8 of a hit.
Yes, take like 10 shots and dump them in a thermos. Put one hit of acid, one little stamp or one little drop of acid in there, and then you can dose yourself with shots. Like if you want to do one shot, like 1/10, 2/10, 3/10.
Okay. Just mix it in water.
One full hit of acid, like one tab, is way too much in my opinion, especially for first timers. It will blow your mind out of your ass for like 12 hours and make you all jittery coming down. It's too much.
I didn't get jittery, but I had a great time.
And you took a full hit, Kyle, as far as you know?
I took 5 hits of acid.
You took 5 at once.
Yeah. Well, I took one and then waited an hour and then took another. And then it was like, come on, just give me the rest. Like, clearly this is a good, like I'm going to love 3. And I promise you, there's nothing I'm going to love more than 3 than fucking 4. Give me all the acid that's mine and I'm going to take it. And I took all the acid. It's great. I saw the clown's
Did you go to
face
sleep?
melt. No, I was up for at least 12 hours high as fuck. Like the moon jiggled and moved, like the clouds wiggled, faces melted on the wall and paintings and stuff, and colors were beautiful. It was wonderful. Everything was funny. Everything was so giggly funny. And we would like somebody would make a joke and you would just die laughing, like till tears are coming out of my eyes. And like it hurt to laugh more. And then an hour later, someone would say whatever the triggering word was for that joke, and you just die again. And or I would just get the giggles. For no reason. I'd just be
That's what mushrooms are like for me.
just giggling over there.
Now, I've told the story
Yeah.
a bunch of times. I took a small dose of mushrooms. It was a gram. And my friend showed up at the campfire with a really shitty chair. It was like 4 beer cans next to each other would be the equivalent of this camp chair. And he thought he was awesome, that he was going to have the only chair, and then everyone else whipped out better chairs. So we just mocked him all night long. This isn't like class A material here, right? Bill Burr is not doing his stand-up on camp chairs, but we were dying. It was the funniest fucking thing to watch him try to make a win out of that terrible chair. And it was the shrooms.
Acid's the best drug I've ever taken. It's so wonderful. I want more.
Yeah.
I need to find somewhere where it's legal.
You mentioned, Dick, like if you don't want to eat a bunch of Dodger dogs at the baseball game.
Well, because fucking
does
beer
acid makes you not eat?
The idea of eating on acid is repulsive to me. I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat a tortilla chip.
I didn't know
on
how
acid.
true it was. Okay.
I mean, some people can, but if you try to eat something, it's like you can kind of conceptualize the molecules getting ground up. It's just very off-putting.
Maybe it was what I ate. I ate these maple bacon donuts that were so fucking delicious that it made me appreciate the crispness of the bacon and like the maple, like whatever the maple stuff on top was like really well made. It didn't taste like just pure cane sugar. It was just everything was good. And I was like, these are the best donuts ever, right? And my buddy's like, this is the best donut I've ever had. I'm like, are you allowed to eat bacon? Aren't you a Muslim? And he's like, fuck it. Like, it was that good. It was so fucking good. Acid is by far the best drug ever that I've ever taken. I would like to do acid like 2 or 3 times a year for sure, but I don't know where to get it, and I don't want to go back to prison because that's no fun. That's like the opposite of acid.
Do they even care about acid, or is it just
they care about me?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
It doesn't matter if they care about acid. Don't do anything. Drive the fucking speed limit. Is it?
God, that sucks.
Anything but that.
I found it really interesting to see the celebrities and that they didn't even have any way to get out of Burning Man. I think Chris Rock made it out of there in a fan's truck. like they just everybody was stuck. I think people still are. Like Chris Rock made it out of there, but I think there's tens of thousands of people stuck in the mud right now, right?
It
It's
could
not
be
muddy
now.
anymore.
Wednesday?
People are driving out fine. It's just a traffic jam.
Oh,
I know this.
Yeah,
Yeah, friends. I have a friend on.
so it didn't turn into the
Messenger.
Superdome.
It just
What a
dried
climb.
out really quickly, like overnight. Not mud anymore.
Yeah. Remember the Superdome when it became like
Oh,
rape
it's
gangs
sewage.
Yeah.
and sewage? Yeah, it took a day to turn into Mad Max in fucking New Orleans. A day.
No, Burning Man is more like, wow, we have everything that you could possibly want. Come over here, and we're cooking a pig in a box. If you
It
want,
seemed like
some.
they were stranded in a place where they planned on being stranded anyway. Like there's food, there's medical supplies, there's water. It's not quite the same as other catastrophes.
Well, there was nowhere to shit and pee because they couldn't empty the porta potties, and I think they do that every day.
They do
They're
that twice a day. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so
Time 'em so
very
you can go
quickly,
shit there.
There was nowhere to poop because they were overfilling. And
Or everywhere.
70,000. There you go. 70,000 people. And then it doesn't take long for disease to happen, like it's the medieval times or some
Getting
shit.
cholera.
Right? Yeah, or E. coli, like something like
Right.
that. If we're just walking in shit with wounds in our feet or something, and I don't see a lot of footwear at those things. or at least not a lot of torrential rain, mud, shit, walking appropriate footwear. A lot of Crocs and.
It'd be pretty neat if you were the guy though that could go places. Like, I happen to get here on dirt bike or paramotor or 4-wheel drive truck in some cases. Like people who
jetpack.
You're gonna need a jetpack. You can hydroplane around pretty good. Barefoot's definitely the best way.
What? Snowshoes.
Barefoot doesn't appeal to me in the land of poop and mud.
Well, you got 5 or 7 square miles there. The poop is probably going to be sequestered to the immediate vicinity of the outhouses.
You overestimate me. This is a common
poop where I like. Tell me.
That'd have to be fast-moving poop.
I knew that they were going to get it solved quickly because of the kind of people that were there. It's weird to me that there isn't an East Coast Burning Man that's more like Tennessee. That's where it would make sense. Like a redneck jamboree Burning Man. That's like the same thing, like a Bonnaroo type thing, but like bigger.
I don't know why they don't get that big out there on the East Coast. There's a couple cool festivals. God, I forget the name of my friends at Format right now. I don't know why they don't get that big out there. It's probably because it's so close to LA.
Land?
Yeah, it's on BLM. They got to give BLM.
See, we don't have
$5 million bucks.
We could maybe have some landowner. Do we have?
We have San Francisco. That's a big
thing about
part
that
of
is it's that salt plain, right? So you don't have to do anything to it. Like our BLM land is forest.
I didn't know
I know I've hunted on it in Georgia, like in Elberton. Elberton's actually where. Remember when the Georgia Guidestones got blown up and they made it a whole Illuminati thing? That's Elberton, Georgia. Right behind the Guidestones is where I used to hunt. So I'm pretty sure that's BLM land or like government land or some shit.
Did they figure out who blew up those stones?
No, they never will. That's a whole fucking dude. That's so weird that got blown up. It's probably just some asshole. But
I was at Burning Man last year, wandering out through the middle of the desert. I don't know. I have no idea what time it was. Probably, it felt like 3 or 4 in the morning, but it was probably 9:30. And all of a sudden, this ball of fire springs to life and starts twirling around in the darkness and goes. It just like I'm like, oh, okay, I'm figuring it out in my inebriated state. Like it's a guy twirling a stick around a ball of fire around. Okay, and then it starts shooting off like 10 feet, 15 feet, and reeling back in like something at a Soul Calibur. I must have watched that guy for like 10 minutes putting on this little performance for me, and I walked up after. I was like, dude, that's amazing. Like. And then I had this feeling of like, do I have to blow this guy or what? Like, what was the? Can I just walk away now?
$2 would be fine. I'm
That's
sure.
the protocol. You're supposed to blow him after that.
That's what I thought. So I ran away.
$2.
I said, close your eyes, and I socked him so I could get out of there.
What is Burning Man like? I've never gone to a music festival like that's basically what it is, like a Roman debauchery festival with music and big statues, and I really don't know.
It's cool for as far as festivals go. It's takes a lot of work to get there, so I think that matters. I think people appreciate it a little bit more. And there is a ton of beautiful women, beautiful young women there who want to find themselves, and it just so happens that themselves is usually in your tent. So. It's a lot of fun. The music is great.
That sounds like a great. So it's really just a place where girls with Harley-colored hair hang out, and they're like in the middle of their like lesbian until graduation, but they still want dick.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And then they I see.
It's Burning Man. You can get straight up just a Harley, like not even a girl lookalike. Like you get me. you get me in your tent.
So it's easy to get laid at Burning Man? That's true.
I mean, it's hard not to get laid.
I heard there's a cougar tent.
Well, the thing is, like it's so detached from the regular world. Like there's no cell phones, there's no TVs. Like I think the constant stimulation that everybody has in the regular world is gone. So like the dumbest things are entertaining. Like a conversation that would be shit on at a bar, like a pickup line that would never work in a zillion years. Hello works at Burning Man. You just walk up and say, "Oh, hi, how are you doing?" And it's like, "Oh, we're both humans again," without
Because they don't have the choice to like betray you and look down in their phone and like pretend like you're forced into conversation. It's like being in the 50s where I assume you just went to the soda fountain and played jacks and did. It is. You want to court?
I feel like this only works if you follow the first 2 rules of dating. Everyone knows the first 2 rules of dating: be attractive, don't be unattractive. Right? Those are the rules. If
you're unattractive, you just go for an unattractive girl.
No, I think I've never been, but I can only imagine that you don't need to be attractive. I think you can, in this scenario that he's describing, you can actually be ugly, tie a shirt on your head, and maybe just be erect, and you're good.
Yeah, everybody's got so much bullshit on their face, like Bane, that they can't tell if you're hot or not.
Yeah, you put on a gas mask and be erect. Like that's what I understand of Burning Man. Right? What I understand of Burning Man is you can put on a gas mask, be erect, and anyone will have sex with you. On a bicycle. I saw people on bicycles. Heard about
these rainbow parties, right? Where girls wore different colored lipsticks. They all gave blowjobs to guys, and your dick would have a rainbow on it by the end of it. And teenage me didn't recognize that that's not even what would happen. He just thought, oh my God, how do I get into a rainbow party? Right? Like, how does this happen? They're not real. Are you telling me Burning Man's real? That this is a thing? People can get laid at Burning Man?
First of all, rainbow parties are 100% real.
Really?
No, they're not. They can't be. It wouldn't even work.
No, I hosted one.
It's not about actually making a rainbow of the penis.
Oh, well then, what's it about then?
It's about a blowjob party with different colored lipstick.
You gotta tell us how you know they're real. Please tell me you've been to one.
Harley?
Yeah.
Have you been to a lipstick party?
No.
Oh.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that, like Woody, you're imagining it. I'm
telling you. Why would you think that they don't exist?
Because it's really like it's hard enough to get a blowjob, right?
It's hard enough. It was hard enough for you to get a blowjob in your day. And it was harder. It was also hard for me in my day, but like, it's not our day anymore. Like there might be a rainbow party app.
My day.
Like that could happen. Like there's like, think about it. You never, did you ever make a Tinder profile?
Yes.
No, I'm too old for that.
Yeah. No, I was asking Woody. Like, yeah. So like, I understand that a rainbow party didn't exist then, but now like that's nothing.
It's not even the girl thing that makes it troubling. It's the fact that like I have a hard time imagining like having a group text with 9 guys and then another one with 9 girls and being like, all right, all our buddies are coming over to sit in a room and get blown together. And it's
you can't even decide where to go to dinner. You're going to decide where to get 9 guys sucked off. That's never happening.
That is so fucking true. Yeah, you ever try and organize a dinner party with 5 people that you like?
I'm under the impression you only need one guy. I thought
Harley brings up a strong point. It seems like one guy would get it done. You could have a rainbow party. It takes at least half a dozen mouse.
No. It doesn't. Technically, a rainbow party can occur, I would say, even with 1 man and 2
women.
No.
I wouldn't even say women. I would just say 2 more.
just 2 more pairs of lips.
You've ruined this party, Harley.
And as long as they just take turns and rotate colors and change the colors up and make sure you hit, blue, indigo, violet, whatever. That's it.
You're gonna let them change colors. Like we could do it with 1 girl. Like my wife and I could have a rainbow party.
Yes, I did. Just draw. I would debate that.
You're gonna get the Reservoir Dogs problem too. No girl wants to be Miss Brown. They all want to be pink.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to be mauve. They want bright red. They want bright pink or bright green or something. And then you'll have 2 girls who have like dark color eyes or green eyes, like bitching at each other because they have the same complementary color. You know how women are with that kind of shit? Are you serious? Like you've never been with a couple girls out and they do their whole... Oh. Well, to your thing about Burning Man, like Woody, I don't understand why you're having so much trouble accepting that lots of ugly people fuck there too. Oh, yeah, it doesn't mean that the ugly person's going to get a hot chick, but there is a tent there I'm sure you remember when Ephialtes in 300 goes into that crazy tent with all those ladies with like one arm and like burned off tits, and he's asking for the outfit and everything, and Xerxes is like, I am a generous god, or whatever he does, and he lets him do it. Like that is what I'm imagining with the ugly tent. Some amputees, maybe war veterans, nothing but respect, and they're getting blown in these tents, and like it wouldn't be hard to get laid there. The way Dick is describing
just know
it.
your weight class, right? Don't try to punch above your own weight class. Go in there and you get some action. I can see that.
I think that's something you can bring with you going into a nightclub. But I think from what I understand of Burning Man, never having been there, you can punch above your weight class. People are there like, I want to suck off an ugly guy. I want to suck off an ugly guy on drugs. And that's what I'm going to do. The first ugly guy that comes up to me and says hello, I'm going to do that because it's Burning Man. That's what
Because it'll piss my dad off. Yeah. If I blow this guy in the desert.
I purposefully...
at Cisco, and he told me, like, you told me because he kind of worked for me and he needed time off. I was like, all right, cool. And then like later on, I brought up like, oh, right. Burning Man is that week. We need to work around it. And it was a problem for him. He's like, I can't believe you told people I'm going to Burning Man. And I'm like, I had no idea. I treated it as if it was like sandals, Burning Man, camping, skiing. I don't know.
The knife subreddit. I like knives. It's a stupid
You got an
hire
EDC?
blade. Yeah, I love EDC, but there's also knives and there's also a Leatherman subreddit. And the knife subreddit always rips on Supernatural because they drop their knives constantly. They drop their daggers, they drop their knives. It's like a major plot point that these guys, they're like, if these guys had a tether on their knives, they'd be unstoppable. If they had a little wristband.
Like my Vive remotes controllers have that wrist strap, and it's so useful. Because you can just whip it and like catch it in the air and stuff. That you're absolutely right. That they're bringing that show back, I think, like for another season with the same two guys, Jensen Ackles and the other guy.
Well, that guy's on The Boys, right? One of them.
The guy on The Boys is doing well, but the other guy,
I like him now because
the other guy
on The Boys.
He's great on The Boys. The other guy did like a Walker Texas Ranger show that I don't know if it did well or not, but I think he also had some kind of a car accident. But anyway, I heard they're going to do another season.
When I said EDC, though, I meant not like the music or the like thingy.
Everyday carry.
Yeah. We got one. Do you have a knife on you? Do you have a knife on you right now?
He's always bladed up, bro.
Sick.
I have the Leatherman Garage Edition. This is like you can't even buy these. They sold out in like 4 minutes, and it's dope as fuck. The scissors are spring loaded. Every tool is on the outside. It's basically if you follow these
tool
things,
on the inside.
Right, all the tools are on the outside.
The bolt cutters?
Well, the pliers are on the inside, I guess. But oftentimes with these Leathermans, you have to open it and then pry the tools out and close it, and it kind of sucks. I'm off camera too much. I'm sorry.
Nice.
But with this one, outside of the pliers, every tool is on the outside, so it's just accessible. You don't have to like open it to get to them.
How much is that? I like that color.
Well, I bought it
have to ask.
like during the 3 minutes. It really did sell out in I don't know, seconds, minutes. And for me, I think it was $250 or $300, but they go for like $800 or $1,000 on eBay now.
That's
Are there any tools on there that you've forced yourself to use where it, very close in your home is something proper and better for it, but you're like, well, I haven't used the knife scissors.
Dude, no. So there's always something proper and better somewhere else. The pliers are really nice because they're spring loaded, but they're still not the best pliers I own. The screwdriver is nice, but it's not the best screwdriver I own. Neither is the knife, but it's always the closest. So I use this. Man, it must be 15 times a day I use it for something.
I'm terrified of knives. I don't like them at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's very Canadian.
Yeah, I don't like it's the idea of getting stabs. Just I don't like it sharp. I don't want none of it. So I never wanted a knife or a multi-tool on me. Then I went to Burning Man, and it was just someone had recommended it was good to get a multi-tool, and I got the Wave. I think it's the Wave Tool Plus or something.
I like the Wave. Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
It's their biggest seller.
Yeah, and the amount of times that people were tripping on acid trying to break through a zip tie with their teeth for their setup at Burning Man, and I walked up, I was like, hold up, I got this, and pulled out my little knife and cut it easily. Or the time like trying to fashion something like in this, because at Burning Man, it's just these weird scenarios. So it's like, oh, I have scissors on me, and having little scissors and doing it. It's
cut me
it's
off
never
the tab.
Yeah, it's like you could get good scissors right over there, like a minute walk that. But this is just when you're gonna rip it. You've now replaced the rip with like a cut. But like if you really need to cut, like you're not gonna use these. But I started to understand. I was like, oh, I get it now. Even having a knife on you, just the amount of times I pulled out the knife and used it.
You
for
find
something.
things to cut.
Oh my, things to wedge. I use the knife.
That's how
for
a
the
gun
wedge.
works too.
Yeah.
Ask any American police officer. You'll find.
I need
something.
a hole 7 feet away. And now I have a remote hole poking device. No, it's super useful. And I sometimes it feels like there's detractors who are like, but those scissors suck. Yeah, they do. I get it. But I just need to cut one zip tie. Your solution is to rummage around the kitchen utility drawer for the scissors that
they
don't
chose
suck.
to bite it on acid at Burning Man. That was their solution.
Not as good. And
It's
honestly,
only to replace,
I
like,
sit
biting
here
on
and
acid.
look down upon you primitives who just try to make it through life with your fingernails and teeth. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get a Leatherman for your pocket.
That's true. You realize how valuable scissors and a knife are when you get anything in a clamshell package and you're like struggling with it. And then every once in a while, you just actually tear it open and it's like, I could have just seriously cut myself.
Yeah.
Like in a really embarrassing way. Multiple people every year die, usually around Christmas, from severe cuts to do with clamshell packaging.
Really?
Like someone who's having the fucking best day ever. Oh, you got me the new Nerf Expo double shot. And can you open it for me, Grandpa? And his just blood, old, thin, elderly blood all over the tree.
Drained so fast.
You can't even enjoy your toy, really, because it's stained. Every time you shoot it, it's a reminder of your grandpa. He died on Christmas, and so for the
All
rest
the
of your
balls
life, it's
soaked
like
up blood.
it's like a poisoned memory where Christmas comes around and you want to be happy, but you just can't get that
It's the
vision of his elderly blood all
Coolest
over
Lego
your toy.
thing ever because the little darts shoot Hep C.
Damn. Hopefully, your grandpa was on the way out anyway. I guess.
Next Christmas, they're like,
He was
are we
on
setting
the liver list.
next Christmas, they're like, are we setting the tree up by Grandpa's stain?
We're gonna set it up right on top of it and just put that into the past. Just one sad square of carpet missing.
Dude, I can talk about fucking
Dead grandpas
Leathermans all night long. I have a flashlight that's dope too. Hold on. So
Pocket flash.
this is my flashlight. It's rechargeable. It's so fucking bright.
See, you know what? My buddy who loves knives, and he even like he was the guy I was at the store and I'm like, should I get this Wave 2 Plus thing? He was like, yeah, I get that guy. He's the one that was explaining just everyday carry to me. He hangs out on the subreddits. He never brought up Supernatural, but I'm going to bring it up to him. He also has a flashlight. So now I'm thinking knife guys are just guys that want shit from their belts. Like maybe that's what this is really about, just having like things ready. Because don't you think a flashlight could be in that other tool you have? How did they not figure that out?
Probably
in
not
the
a good one.
Leatherman itself.
Well, why not though? We
He's
can't make
my
a
phone.
good. We can't make
You
the
could have a
sickest
bad
flashlight
one.
with little wires. Do you see all these gay lights behind me? They could stay on 24/7 remote control. We can't have like a fucking little flashlight that's good.
And just look at the size of your flashlight. If you had to add that much volume to my Leatherman, that'd be a lot. You could have a bad flashlight, which is way better than no flashlight. That's kind of what Leathermans are in general.
That's
The
what I'm
phone's
saying,
got a
though.
pretty good
Let's fit more
flashlight.
bad. Let's fit more bad things in there.
Yeah, you'd have a phone quality flashlight, I guess.
I'm trying to think of more
what's another
special
bad
moves for the
thing?
gods.
Oh, I thought you were thinking of more bad things to add to. I was like, what? An inflatable flashlight?
One
I
chopstick.
want fingernail clippers in
One
there.
chopstick.
You have to have two Leathermen.
Stick. Just
the
a
most
stick.
useless thing, just a stick. Yeah,
One
it's an
chopstick is
eye-poking
funny.
device. A little.
I would
thing.
love something for picking your teeth. I don't know how that device could exist.
I thought
and not be
that crossed my
gross,
mind. Yeah, it crossed
but
my
some
mind.
sort of toothpick. Maybe it needs to come with a bunch and you
Put
reload
a
it all
floss
the time.
reel in there.
Yeah.
Do you guys roll around with those floss little devices? I roll with those everywhere.
Yeah, the Dentix.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
always have those on me.
They're pretty good. Look at that. See, Woody's just
You
Woody's
have
just the guy who likes to be
19
prepared.
tools on you. You have 19 tools.
Every day carry. I'm that guy. I'm that guy.
Sometimes you need that in between your office and living room.
One time.
What am I going to walk 300 yards to the bathroom? Fuck that. I already got it in my pocket.